So good morning to everyone that's just joining us on YouTube. And we're just about to go live on Instagram as well. So good morning to everyone on Instagram. And we've got the incredible Rachel on Zoom. And today's our last session for a few weeks. So we're going to have a chilled start, and then we're going to work into the sciatic nerve and then do a bit of movement based on our splits this morning. So I like to start my breath work lying down or seated, but just choose a comfortable position for you. It's going to be a breath work that helps kind of just slow the blood pressure down, help you just calm and relax. So this is called the Physiological Sigh by Andrew Huberman. So I would softly close the eyes, but if you prefer them open, and also go for that. Allow yourself just to relax for a moment, keeping the natural, easy rhythm of the breath. Taking a little scan, a little check in with your body. Noticing how you're feeling in this current moment. Observing where the breath is. Is it limited to the chest? Is it quite fast and shallow? Or are you using the whole diaphragm? And not just checking in physically, but also emotionally. How do you feel this morning? And then if you're seated, we're going to sit nice and tall, so the crown of the head reaching up, shoulders roll back and down. We've got a slight tuck of the chin. And for our breath for this one, we're going to take a breath and then we're going to relax for a moment, and then we're going to do it another couple of times. So what we do is 2 sharp inhales. The second inhale immediately after the first, so it's slightly shorter. And then we do a sigh out through the mouth straight away. So we just take a moment to pause and then sigh out. So it goes. And on the sigh out, you want to like relax your shoulders down, release. As if you've just got home after a super long day at work. So when you're ready, just take a normal breath in, out. 2 sharp inhales, and sigh out. And we just sit with this breath for a moment. And in around 30 seconds, you might start noticing a difference. And this breath kind of mimics that breath when you're having a panic or when you're just sleeping. You have like 2 sharp inhales, and it instantly just provides calm over the entire body. So let's go for our second round. When you're ready, normal inhale, exhale, 2 sharp inhales, and sigh out. And then again, just observing the body. And in yoga, we talk about observation quite a lot rather than moving with judgment. Because we talk about ahimsa, which translates from Sanskrit into non-violence. So we want to also be non-violent with ourselves. We want to speak kind words to ourselves. Often we can feel frustrated, annoyed, or not say the kind of thing. So when we look at ourselves in yoga, we try to see it as, okay, I see this, I'm aware of this, rather than judgment. So let's go for one final round now. Normal breath in and out. 2 sharp inhales and sigh out. And for the final bit of our meditation this morning, we're going to go through our affirmations because we haven't done them this week. So, affirmations by John Diamond. We gently place the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. The eyes remain closed, and you're welcome to repeat them aloud or in your head. But you really want to repeat them with confidence and clarity. And each affirmation links to a different meridian point in the body. So when you're ready, I have love, faith, trust, gratitude, and courage. I am humble. I am tolerant. I am modest. I am happy. I have good fortune. I am cheerful. I reach out with love. I have faith and confidence in my future. I am secure. I am clean and good. I am worthy of being loved. I renounce the past. I am generous. I am relaxed. I have forgiveness in my heart. I am content. I am tranquil. I am buoyed up with hope. I am light and buoyant. I am jumping with joy. I am in harmony. I am at peace. I have love, faith, trust, gratitude, and courage. My life energy is high. I am in the state of love. Take an inhale through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. Gently blinking eyelids open if you have them closed. If you're lying down, slowly coming up to a seated position. And then we're all going to eventually come into a tabletop. So we're going to floss the sciatic nerve this morning. And I think we've done this before, but perhaps lying down. So we're going to just do a cat and cow to add a little movement to the back and spine. Just breathe in, drop the chest, exhale, round. And then when you're ready, bringing hands onto hips. So we come into a kneeling position. And we're going to step right foot forward to begin with, into our low lunge. We're just staying here for a moment, bringing the hands onto the hip bone, hips facing forwards, and maybe you need to pad out that back knee. And then when you're ready, we're going to flow through to our half split. So I like to walk my front foot forwards, toes back towards me, right hip is tucking in, and maybe beginning to fold or keeping the hands on the hips. And then we're going to bend back into front knee and come back into half splits. We're going to do this a few times, just following your breath, warming up into the back of the hamstring. Remember, you can pad out that back knee if needed, but you're trying to go into the soft part of the knee. And as you come forwards into the low lunge, maybe you're opening the chest. And as you come into the half splits, maybe you're taking a little fold. So if you do have yoga blocks, they can be quite handy here, but they're not essential. Take 3 more breaths of this. And then we're going to finish in that half splits. So depending on what you've got around you, if you've got blocks, maybe you bring your hands onto blocks, maybe your hands reach onto the floor. But wherever you are, we're going to imagine that our booty is sticking out and our toes are pulling back towards our face. But then we're slumping the upper back. So often here we're keeping that chest round, but this time we're actually rounding upper back and chin comes towards the chest. We then got the toes exactly facing back towards us, but when you're ready, if this is enough, stay here. But we're going to try and go to 3 out of 10 sensations. As soon as you can feel it basically along the back of the leg, that's enough for today. We point the toes down and back towards us, and we do this about 15 times. So try to keep the breath slow. You don't need to move too fast, but here we're just tightening and then slackening the nerve. So if you ever find that you have hamstrings that you can't seem to get more flexible in, and you can't seem to budge them even though you're strengthening and stretching, then maybe it's just the nerve has got a bit stuck. But we're not going for a huge sensation. Basically, as soon as you can feel it, that's as far as you want to go. Once you've done about 15, then find stillness for a moment. And then we're going to do the other branches. So we're going to point our pinky toe out. So we're now rotating the foot out. And we're going to point the foot down and up. We're trying to keep the kneecap up, but just pointing the toes in a different direction. And this gets into the sural branch of the sciatic nerve. So we're keeping that upper body rounded, even though it might feel a little bit unusual, but we still got the butt sticking out. Again, around 15 for this one. So 15 seems to be our lucky number when we're doing nerve flossing. And you might begin to already notice a difference in how the leg feels. And then once you've done about 15, we rotate the foot back to center. And then we rotate it towards the big toe side. So rotating in, kneecap still faces up, and again 15 times, foot up and down. So a little bit repetitive, but quite easy to follow. And we're trying to keep that breath slow to tell our body, yeah, we're safe, we're okay. It's okay to release here as well. Once you've done your 15, you're going to come back to your low lunge and then back to kneeling. And then let's switch. So we've got right knee now next to left, and we're going to step left foot forwards to low lunge, setting ourselves up first to feel stable. Then I like to walk that heel forwards, come into the half split. And then when you're ready, start flowing through. Whoops. Coming back to low lunge, nearly fell over there, and then half split. Notice how this side may feel different to the other side. We've got 5 more rounds of just flowing through. Remembering you can pad out that back knee if needed. When you've done your 5 rounds, we're going to stay in that half split. Maybe the hands are coming down or staying on the hips. We stick the booty out as much as we can to try and get that anterior tilt, and then rounding, lumping in shoulders, upper back, chin to chest. And then again, left hip stays in, point the toes. Maybe you're staying here, or perhaps you're pointing toes down to the ground and then back up towards the face 15 times. Yeah, lovely. And this sensation kind of feels a little bit different for everyone. So some of my friends say that it feels like an electric feeling along the back of the leg. Other people say it just feels like a stretch, really. So just notice how it feels for you. And once you've done your 15, we're just doing the exact same what we did on the other side. So we start rotating the foot towards pinky toe edge, knee up, and then we repeat again 15 times. And also remembering you don't have to go to the full range of motion if that provides discomfort. You can always start off a lot slower, a lot smaller, maybe even stillness. And once you've done your 15, come back to the center, and then we do big toe edge, so pointing big toe in, again 15 times. Lovely. Once you've done your 15, we come back to the low lunge. Lovely. And then we're going to move on to more of our movement portion now, so the yoga bit. We're going to tuck the toes, and we're going to come straight to standing, perhaps at the back of the mat without using hands. Lovely. So inhale, I want you to circle the arms, look up. Exhale, take your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look ahead. Exhale, place the hands down, walk the hands forward into a downward dog. So in your downward dog, just notice how that feels this morning. Perhaps now taking some bends in the knees, lifting one foot or the other foot. Maybe dropping hips side to side. But maybe your legs already feel like, oh, okay, we've done a little bit of movement here already. It doesn't feel so bad. Because that first downward dog can also feel quite stiff most of the time. And then when you're ready, we're going to drop the knees down, tabletop. Bring the hands on the hips. And just like before, we're going to step right foot forwards, low lunge. We're going to walk into our half split. So walk right foot slightly further forwards, right hip still tucking back, toes back towards the face. And then we're going to take a little fold over that front leg. This time, left hand is going to come down, right hand is going to reach up for a twist. Lovely. Take 2 breaths here. Lovely. And then we're going to lift the torso back up And see if we can bring both hands on the right side of the right leg. Maybe we're not going there today. Maybe they're going to stay lifted. If you've got props, maybe you're going to bring your hands on props. We're folding like a little twist over to the right side. Keep right toes flexing back towards you, that right leg nice and strong. For 3, 2, and 1. Frame the leg. This is where things are going to get tricky. And today, I can't do this. I can't do it without blocks. Maybe you can. Maybe you've got blocks near you. It doesn't matter. But if you can't, I want you to imagine like I am. So we're going to push the hands into the ground. Maybe we're going to round a bit in the shoulders. We're going to see if we can lift right heel off the ground. And even if it's not lifting, we're imagining it's lifting. We put all our might into it. Lift, lift, lift. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Come back into low lunge. Take some wrist rotations. And then let's do that on the other side. So knee comes down, step left foot forwards. Half splits, walk front foot forwards, flex into the feet. Take your fold. And then right hand comes down, left hand up to the sky. And we're trying to make our arms in one line if we can. And look up to that top hand. We're here for 2 breaths. Perfect. And then we're going to bring both hands up and then fold towards the left side. So both hands are going to come to the left side. Maybe we're on fingertips. Maybe we've got hands on hips if that doesn't feel good today. Really flex into those toes still. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Frame the leg. Face the front of the mat. When you're ready, we're going to imagine that foot lifting up sky high. Maybe even kicking us in the face. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift the foot, lift it, lift it, lift it. Even if it isn't lifting it, go, go, go. 3, 2, and 1. Release. And then come back into that low lunge. Back into kneeling. Hands come down into tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Hips up to the sky. Perfect. Take a breath here, in and out through the nose. And then take little steps all the way to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Grab onto the elbow and just sway side to side. Ragdoll pose. Release the elbows, roll all the way up to standing. Super slow, shoulders and head come up last. Take a breath when you get to standing. Lovely. And then we're going to step back into a pyramid pose. So I want you to bring the hands to the hips. Left foot is going to step back. We're going to have both feet facing forwards for this one. And they're not going to be in one line. We've got about a hip width distance between the feet. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down. And you're welcome to take a different hand position here. So you might grab off the elbows behind you. You might bring your hands to prayer. But today I'm going to keep my hands on my hips. So inhale, we're going to puff the chest up this time. Exhale, we're going to begin to fold over that front leg. And then maybe you bring hands down to the ground or keep them in your bind behind you. Now, I don't want you to just hang out here. I want you to keep those hips squaring forward. That's why I like my hands on my hips. But just imagine the hips are facing towards the front of the mat. And then the heels pull towards each other. Thighs draw towards each other. And then maybe on your next exhale, you can fold a tiny bit more. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands down to the ground. And I want you to imagine that feeling before. So if the hands aren't on the ground, keep them on the hips, that's fine. If you can get fingertips down, that's great. We're just imagining that foot pulling back and up towards us, just like in our half splits. So when you're ready, lift it up. Even if it's not lifting, we're just trying as much as we can. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Bring the hands onto the hips. Take a breath here, lift halfway. And then exhale, fold again over that front leg. Lovely. Bring the hands back down to the ground and focus on the left foot. We're going to lift the right foot up behind us as we walk our hands towards the left foot, lifting into a standing split. So hands come towards left foot and we're lifting right leg all the way up to the sky. So it was a bit of a change here. keeping hips squared down, so we're not opening to one side, and then maybe hands are grabbing onto the left leg as we pull the torso down towards the left leg. Lifting right leg as high as we can, we're keeping it nice and active. For 3, 2, and 1. Release right foot down, grab opposite elbow, ragdoll pose. Take a breath. Lovely. So this is quite an active flow this morning. You can blame Rachel because she wanted to work on hamstrings and split. Release the elbows, roll all the way up to standing. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, we're just going to take a step to the front of the mat. Not a very good transition, but don't blame me, I'm not so creative at 7 a.m. in the morning. So we're going to step right foot back, hands bring onto the hips to begin with, so we can bring those hips facing forwards. And then maybe you're taking a bind. If you're taking a bind and you were grabbing opposite elbow before, make sure to bring the other forearm on the top this time. Or you can go for prayer hands or hands on the hips, up to you. So again, roll the shoulders back and down, chest proud. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're folding over front leg. And then maybe hands are releasing to the ground, or you're keeping them exactly where they are on hips or behind you. But I really want you to imagine that energetic pull of the heels drawing together, the inner arches of the feet drawing towards each other, thighs working hard. So we're not just relaxing down here. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Place the hands on the hips. Inhale, lift halfway, take a breath. Exhale, fold again over that front leg. Hands come down. Remember, if they don't come down, keep them on the hips and keep the energetic pull of the legs. If they're down, we're going to take an inhale. Exhale, we're lifting front foot. Even if it's not lifting, we're imagining it's going to lift and hover for 3. Come on, pull it up. 2, and 1. Release. Woo. Okay, here comes our funky transition. So we're going to walk the hands towards the right leg, the back leg, as we lift left leg up and behind us into our standing splits. Now torso drawing down towards right leg. Try and straighten right leg as much as you can. Stomp the foot into the ground and point left toes up to the sky. Maybe you're grabbing right heel today as the torso and chest come down towards the leg. Lovely. Keep lifting back leg up, try and straighten it. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Place left foot down, grab opposite elbow, sway side to side. Maybe if you want, you could bend into one knee, then the other, releasing hands. Up to you. Take any movements that feel good. And if you've got elbows still, release the arms. Roll all the way up to standing, super slow. Roll shoulders back and down a couple of times. Crown of the head up to the sky. Bring the hands to prayer. We'll take one final breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Bowing to one another as a sign of gratitude for our yoga practice, each other in our community. Thank you everyone so much for joining me. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram and YouTube, and you can join my live classes as well.